This video is made possible by the lovely people over on my Patreon. If you're interested in supporting the channel or you want to get your hands on some awesome high quality STLs, then please visit patreon.com/Will at Heroic Studios. Yeah. This is the new Anycubic Super Duper Wash and Cure Super Duper Max. What the hell do you call this thing? Wash and Cure Max. Now this is their large scale wash and cure machines that's supposed to go with the M3 Max. So if you're wondering why I haven't done my review video on the M3 Max, it's because I was waiting for this bad boy to arrive so I can not only review the M3 Max but also give you a rundown on how this thing works and if it's actually worth your money. I sure hope it's worth your money. So we're gonna crack it open, we're gonna see what it does, we're gonna see how pretty it is, and I'm gonna put it together and do a couple of wash and cures on it before I go ahead and give you the lowdown on the M3 Max, all right? Okay, let's get started. Okay, so right off the bat, this thing is really big and it's come packed up with foam and all this fun stuff. So I actually had to get an extra pair of hands to get it out of the box, onto the table, and out of this nice little piece of foam that it has here. But luckily the thing isn't really heavy at all, but you know, ask for help if you need it because this thing is a pretty penny and we'll get into pricing a little bit later. I apologize folks, during editing I realized that my microphone on my camera wasn't properly plugged in, so I'm doing a voiceover now. So here is your Wash and Cure Max. This thing is pretty good and it's pretty big. It looks like a damn miniature fridge compared to the other wash and cures that we have here. So this thing is ginormous. It's sitting on my workbench and I don't even know what to say, but the design is sleek. It has a clean feel to it. Comes with a power supply that plugs in, and of course you got your usual Allen wrench and little spickle spackle spatula. So inside of this thing you have a plethora of stuff. Of course you have the instructions that if you're going to get this, you want to read it because this doesn't work like a normal wash and cure. Under this you have two drums and you have some pipes that go in the back of the machine. That is super duper important. These things right here hold the water and detergent. They call it detergent, but it's really an IPA, your 99% alcohol solution. So I got this from Amazon. I got about 5 liters of this stuff for about $27. Took a couple days to get here, but it's worth it in terms of what you're going to be using for this machine. And of course you have your basket here where you're going to be setting all of your prints in it in order for it to get washed. Okay, so let's take this out. This is also the bucket. This is the waste bucket. This is where your waste IPA water solution resin mess is going to drip. Not a fan of this solution that Anycubic has done, but it is what it is for now. So getting this last piece of foam out of here, I think we are just about ready to go ahead and fire this thing up. Really cool design. I like how it looks inside. I'm really super concerned on if it's going to cure hollow prints because this is supposed to be a 360-degree cure, meaning on the bottom as well. So hopefully that is something that we can go ahead and do. So going to the back of the machine, you kind of see where these little pipes go in, and the easy part about assembly is that these things are numbered. There's numbers on the back of the machine, they're numbered on the pipes, and then you just go ahead and you insert them and everything should go ahead and fit in quite nicely. The best thing too is that the drums here also have numbers on it that I will probably get into a bit later, but overall this machine looks pretty sleek. I like the way it looks, and we're going to get into assembling all this stuff together and putting the IPA and all that fun stuff in it. So that was the rundown of the machine, so let's get started. And once again, Anycubic has opted in putting the power button on the back of the machine. Not sure why this is a thing, but it is what it is. Like I said, the inserts for the tubes are numbered, so you should not get confused on what tube goes where. If you look at the drums here, you will see numbers on it. Right there, you see a number 3, that's where tube 3 goes in, and then I believe this is the number 1, that's where number 1 goes in, and you see the corresponding ports on the back of the machine. Really easy. Same with the water drum here. You got a 2, I believe, that goes in a 2, and then number 4 is actually for wastewater that would go into the bucket. So it's real easy to put together. I thought the way this thing would be, it would be like super complicated, but it's not. You just follow the numbers, you plug it in, you stick the holes in their corresponding drum, and then you just sort of kind of go from there. Really easy stuff. You shouldn't have any problems when it comes to assembling all this stuff. Alright, so this thing is nice and full with, I think, almost 5 liters of IPA. You can't really see it, but it's almost at the top. So now we connect this up, and then we're going to fill this up with water and do the same thing. So let's do that. We got 1. This goes into here. Right? This is 1 right here. Yes. And then a 3. I think this is supposed to go in deeper. Sorry, I gotta change my mic around because you guys probably cannot hear me. Sorry for the popping noise. Okay, so they don't go all the way in. I'm thinking maybe, since this is to depressurize it, the other cap, that's what's come off. Maybe it's supposed to create a pressure where it pushes the alcohol up through the pipe and into the machine. So we're gonna find that out when we test it. Okay. And next we have pipe number 2 going into here, like so. Voila. So now we just gotta make this thing looking nice and pretty. So. Voila. And now we have the last tube, which for the demonstration, I'm going to use this stupid ass bucket. I'm gonna put the stupid ass bucket right here. I just hope no one kicks it. Any cubic, if you can, fix that. Anyone can trip, and then you get resin waste all over your floor. Fix it. Okay. Power supply, let's hook it up. And of course, for the first turning on of the machine. Let's do this. You and me, together, y'all. Okay, so first, before we turn it on, this thing is ginormous compared to the other washing cures. We got that out of the way. Have a lot of pipes that feeds into the machine, into these drums here, and then you got one that feeds the waste into there. Not my best design. I would have made maybe a 3rd drum, but I can see why any cubic was probably going for that because this thing already has 2 drums with it already. So, makes sense in hindsight. So, let's turn it on. First time. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1. Ah, that looks beautiful. That looks really beautiful. All right. So, we got our basket. Make sure that it aligns with everything, as you can see. And I think we're good to go. So, let's go look at my first print or second print from the Max, and let's see how well this thing performs. All right, so this is the Master Sword hilt that I got from CG Trader. Looks really good. I did it in a cool like metallic blue to kind of match the color of the Master Sword. So Let's get it all into the washing cure and let's see how this bad boy does it. Okay? Okay. Just gonna scrape this with my little thing here and put this back. Now, I've been told by a whole lot of you that the supports need to come off because this thing over here does not have a separate wash then cure. What that means is that, like me, a lot of you probably wash it with the supports and then you take it out, you take off the support, you let it air dry, and then you cure. So from what I've heard, hey camera, what are you doing? What are you doing? From what I've heard, that's not the thing with this, so I'm not going to take any chances because this thing took 22 hours to print and I don't want it to mess up. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the supports and just go and drop it in the machine. You're really trying my patience, camera. You're going to stay up. I need a new stand, you guys. So I'm just going to rip this off. People are trying to see the shot. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. If you do your supports right, these things should come right off. Of course, you don't want to have cured on supports, because that would be terrible. Okay. All right, so let's toss these into. Oh, we got some issues there. Oh well. Let's just see how this works. All right, close the lid. And I think from here you have to hit like auto or something, which is this button right here. So 15 minutes? What are we gonna do for 15 minutes? Okay. The door's locked and everything. I hear sprays. What am I gonna do for 15 minutes? Let's find something to do for 15 minutes. No, I guess I'll go find some treasure. Alright, Lens of Truth. Show me where the goods are. Nothing there. I know there's treasure in this garage. Nope, searching. Ah, there it is. Good job, Lens of Truth. I'm rich as the day is long. Ah, man, I still got like 11 minutes. Okay, I guess I'll go talk about the Max now. Let's go talk about the Max. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the M3 Max because there's tons of videos out there doing review videos. All I can tell you is that this is Anycubic's large scale printer. It is huge in comparison with all my other printers, and you can do a lot of cool prints on there, mainly props and a few helmets. The thing is using a lot of resin when you do it, as well as it has a resin fill feature. Now the power button is on the side, which I like, so there are some points there for Anycubic. Now I'm going to be honest with you guys. This printer was sort of underwhelming. When it first came out, it was all the rage because it was a large scale printer. It did have a resin fill vat, which I thought was cool, and it was very affordable. Now, compared to other printers like the Jupiter or like the Frozen Mighty AK that are larger and have more build volumes, this thing is okay. So if you're looking for a nice large scale printer that's affordable, this thing will run you about $869 from Anycubic's website. So the specs are as follows. It is a 13.6 7K monochrome screen and has a resolution, like I said before, of 7K, and the build volume is 298 by 164 by 300 millimeters, which is just over a foot tall. So you can really do some large scale printing with this printer. Now the whole bells and whistle about this thing is that it does have a resin fill vat, automatic resin fill vat. But like I've been saying in all of my previous videos, the more bells and whistles the printer comes with, the more expensive it is going to be to replace. The LCD is a monochrome screen, but it will go out at some point, and the screen, from what I've seen, is close to about $300 in order to get your hands on it, as well as the feb sheets. So feb sheets are not cheap. So like I said, if you're gonna go with a large scale printer, I would go with maybe something else. This printer is sort of kind of played out, but I still wanted it, and so it's doing what I needed to do, because honestly I don't know what I would make with a large scale resin printer. Maybe helmets, maybe at the very least, but other than that, this is why I got the Wash and Cure Max. Now it's probably awesome for like buffs. I did a White Ranger buff that you can get on my Patreon, patreon.com/Heroic Studios, and it did come out really good. So you know, if you're looking to build statues, if you're looking to build large buffs and stuff like that, this printer is totally for you. So like I said, shop around. If you want to get a large scale printer, I wouldn't recommend this one, but it is affordable. I would probably go, if you have the money, to get like a Frozen Sonic Mighty 8K or like an Elegoo Jupiter or whatever large scale resin printers are out there. So far, this is okay. So if you want it, go for it. If you want to get something a little bit more extravagant, go for it. But this is more cost effective in terms of what you get for your money. Okay, we're in the cure cycle now. You can see the UV light coming through. About 3 minutes left, and we also have the waste bucket filling up pretty fast, actually. I don't know about that. Is it supposed to be for multiple uses, or do you have to empty it out every run? I think you have to empty it out every run. But water is here, looks okay. The IP here, IPA. No, this is the water. I'm sorry. This is the water here. This is the IPA, which looks pretty good to me. Don't look like it's been used much, but I think I might have to refill the water. I gotta read the directions on how that's supposed to work. So 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, and we're gonna see how these handles come out. All right, it's done. So let's take a look at what's inside. Is this thing actually cured and clean? Huh, it actually looks really good. Well, not the part. The part looks like trash, but the overall cleaning looks not half bad. I think I can get into this. It feels like it's clean. I'm not feeling any stickiness on it, so this part here probably looks like it's a-okay, which looks okay to me. And then the main hilt here, which is salvageable. I might use this for the rest of my blade. Looks okay. Okay. It's a little wet, so I'm expecting you're gonna have to let this sit out and air dry, just like everything else, but it cured with the water. So I'm guessing it sprays the alcohol, then it washes it out with water, and then you go ahead. Sorry, had a low battery. So this thing right here looks really good. It came out wet, but all in all, I think this is perfectly fine for what it does. It feels like, with my hand without the glove, it feels solid. It doesn't feel like it's tackiness. It's already starting to air dry, and it looks like it came out really well. So, hey, not half bad here. Not half bad here at all. So, let's try something a bit smaller now. For my next trick, I got a spiritual stone, ruby, Goron's ruby. Put that in the basket. I got some lovely sapphires for the Zora sapphire. Put that in inside of the crate. I have some Sylveons. A Tikkertokkers right here, and last but not least, some of the spiritual stone frames that those stones are going to fit into. So we got a pretty decent amount of stuff that needs to get cleaned. Let's see how it does. I should probably take off the supports first. Yeah, so my camera's charging right now, so I can't really move it from this area, but I'm going to hit the auto button on this thing and get these things all cleaned up. Okay. All right, let's see how this thing came out. Alright, so first up we got the Sylveons, and you can feel how solid it is. It doesn't feel tacky. It feels straight up clean, so not a bad go. This actually looks really good. Here's the other Sylveon. Again, no tackiness, no stickiness. This thing feels great, and it feels like it got fully cured. It is a little bit wet, that's to be expected, but still, this looks fantastic. Can't complain. Now the ruby and the sapphire for the spiritual stones, they look okay. I mean, they're stones, they're just big globs of resin, so nothing to be overly impressed about there. Now this Tikkertokkers didn't finish, so we're just going to take a look at it. Again, wet, but you know, gives you an idea. I wanted to do this one in particular because it has venting holes in it, and sometimes the stuff inside doesn't get cured. So I really wanted to see if it got cured. So that's going to be for next test. I'll give you an update when the reprint is finished and I'm able to cure it and wash it in this thing, just to see if the internals structure gets cured. Well, I could probably check it now, but yeah, I'll keep you guys updated with that. Not bad. Alright, so some interesting things to note here before I go ahead and wrap up this video. One, this is mostly water than it is alcohol resin mixture, okay? So you can go ahead and pour that right back in here for the next wash, okay? So it is, you do get multiple uses out of this. I just did it, so it's fine. The prints came out looking okay, so better than okay. They look fantastic, like nothing happened. So you can go ahead and use this wastewater and throw it back in here. Thing is that you do need to refill this between every use. So you do have to refill this up. It uses the whole 5-liter jug to clean off the prints, and that water is thrown back in here. There might be some little less because, you know, friction and all that, but you do need to fill this up. Number 2, this only has an auto feature, which means it goes through the wash and cure cycle. There is a separate cure cycle that you can go through, and of course you can set the time to start, but it does not have a wash cycle, unfortunately. So this is why I've been removing the supports on all of my prints before throwing it in and making it an auto feature, because you don't want the supports curing on your prints, otherwise it's going to be super hard to remove, okay? So that's, don't know how I feel about that. It is what it is. The IPA wash, as you can see, it is still at a pretty high level here. So I'm not too worried about having to go ahead and refill this IPA wash anytime soon. It looks like it barely even used any of it, so hey, this is good. You do have to get in here and wipe down a lot of the water in here, so you need to get a rag and you do need to dry it out. You can probably leave the top open so it can air out, but if you have this thing in your garage and bugs get in it, I wouldn't leave it open. So take a rag and wash it. So that's it. That's the Anycubic Wash and Cure Max. Pretty big for its size, but it does get the job done for your much bigger prints. Also, another interesting thing of note is that this Tikkertokkers is still leaky resin, so it does not get all the way in there when it comes to curing internally. So that kind of sucks, but hey, you're just gonna have to do a secondary process on any prints that you're trying to vent out and hollow out and make sure all the resin in it is cured. So get yourself a little LED flashlight, it'll do the trick. I was really hoping that that would be fixed. So, final verdict, is this thing worth your money? Yes and no. Yes, because this thing is ginormous, and if you're running anything like an M3 Max or Jupiter or anything of that size and caliber, this thing will get the job done in terms of cleaning it, curing it, and making it look nice and snazzy for your display, getting ready for painting, whatever it is you want to do. No, because if you're just running something like a Mars 2 or an M5 or a Photon, it doesn't really, it's kind of overkill for those small prints. Am I going to use this on every print that I do? Probably not. I probably would still stick to my Wash and Cure Plus over here, the regular Wash and Cures, and my, you know, alcohol IPA back. So for the little things, I'm probably going to still be using those. For the bigger things like busts and tall statues and maybe a giant cosplay prop that I do on my Macs, this thing is going to be using a lot of the time whenever I use that printer. So just keep that in mind. This thing retails for about, I think, 300 bucks. Don't quote me on that. I'm in my garage. When I edit this video, I'll give you guys the right price. So this thing is definitely cool. It takes a lot, and like I said, you do need to do a little bit more maintenance on this thing than you would these guys over here. But all in all, I think this is a fantastic machine. I think Anycubic is probably going to come out with a newer, fancier model that you can separate the wash and cure cycle, because that's what they always do. But for what you get with this machine, it is actually a pretty solid thing to have if you're going to be printing large-scale resin models. If you're not, I would just stick with the smaller, regular old size wash and cure machines that you've been using this whole time. All right, that is my verdict. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and if you want to help support the channel, check out my Patreon. I say it every video. Shout out to my Patreons right here. We are growing, and October is going to be an awesome month. So if you guys are looking for some STLs, or you just want to help support the channel, go to patreon.com/Will@Heroic Studios. I'll be doing more videos and showing off this monster machine all over social media. So check me out across social media, Will@Heroic Studios on Instagram, Heroic Studio Prints on Instagram, as well as Facebook.com/Heroic Studios Media. All the links are in the description in case you got none of that. So I'll catch you guys next time on another fun video. Not sure what I'm gonna do next, but I will keep you posted. All right, guys, check you later. Have fun. See you next time.